Alright, hey guys, don't mind the voice, I sound like crap because I'm sick. It's just been a little while since I've done a video. So I've got two tanks set up in my room here. This is where my snakes used to be. I actually moved them over to here. I gotta clean up the racks a little bit too, but I moved them over to here. I moved this over to here, because when you walked in the room, this thing stuck out way too far, and it was just kind of like looming over the whole room. This tank's only got 5 shrimp in it right now. Some real nice red cherries, kind of selective breeding them. I got some cholla wood, stuck a plant in it. It's pretty cool, they kind of like that. I got a different bubbler, that's a Tetra Whisper, it's so quiet. This is a shrimp feeding plate. You slip it in there, drop the pellets down through there, let them feed and then pull it out. This is my neon yellow tank. I'm not quite sure how many are actually alive in here. At one point I had 15. There was a problem with my second order. The post office rerouted it. I ordered from So Shrimp. My first order came to me the next day. Perfect. Everybody was fine. So I ordered from him again. He was coming from Bronx, New York. I'm in Connecticut. So it should have been one day. It should have been quick and easy. They shipped it to a different post office in New York, then over to Springfield, Mass., then down to me. And then when I called them to ask them if they could hold it in the post office, they said sure, but then they put it out on the truck anyway. After all said and done, I lost 3 immediately out of the bag of 11. 2 more died in the tank a couple days later, 2 or 3, something like that. So I think I got 6 more in there, plus the 7 I had before. There should be 13 in here. But I mean, they're really good at hiding in the moss. They're probably hiding under that leaf. Either way, the ones that are in here are growing and doing well. I just like how simple this setup is. I took that cholla wood and I stuffed it full of Java moss. So I'm hoping it'll grow out of the wood, which is cool. So that's that tank. I bought this Poland spring water and emptied it, and then I went back up the Price Chopper. They sell reverse osmosis water for 39 cents a gallon. So the next project I'm going to be doing is taking one of these buckets and putting a spigot on it, and then using it so I can fill gallon jugs. So it's easier, because I mean, dumping water from a 5-gallon jug into a tank is going to disrupt everything, whereas I can slowly pour it with a gallon jug. So out to the living room where my other tank is, on my desk. This tank hasn't been doing so well. I had to redo it a couple times. This was my experimental tank though, my first shrimp tank. It's my cull tank, you know, for whatever ugly shrimp, I guess you can say. Shrimp that I'm not going to be selectively breeding. It had an outbreak of detritus worms. I completely redid the tank. I had an outbreak of detritus worms again, even though I wasn't feeding them a lot. I used this stuff, no planaria, killed the detritus worms, but I think it was producing way too much ammonia when the detritus worms died because I lost a bunch of shrimp. So, last night I switched it to a sponge filter because I had an inkling that the filter I had in there was an external filter, and I had a sponge over the power head, or over the suction thing, so I wouldn't suck up baby shrimp. And I think it was preventing a lot of water flow, so not enough oxygenation in the water. So the sponge filters, as you can see, that is not a problem. That is all kinds of turbulence. Not to mention, sponge filters are just better for these tanks. But you can see some of the shrimp just shrimping away. I'm trying to focus on them, but it's focusing on the rock. And there's still at least like 10 or 15 in here, and then there's a couple of mono shrimps. That's what that big one is back there. So that's cool. Then I also wanted to, in this channel, if you're interested in shrimp and aquariums and stuff like that, then you should check out my friend, my internet friend, Christine Haas videos. I'll put a link to her channel in the description. She's also on Facebook, but she does shrimp related videos, and she's got a lot of cool stuff and a lot of cool projects. She's currently building a coffee table shrimp tank, which is really cool. So check her out. I'd like to get her subscribers up because she's a cool person. So subscribe if you're interested. She's got 450 subscribers. So let's get that number over 1,000 before the end of the day. We can do that. I have close to 2,000 something. No, more than 2,000 subscribers. So 600 of you guys go and subscribe to her. She'll be up at 1,000. Do it. Let's do it. All right. And then my aquarium still needs a little work, but those sword plants were like that size when I put them in there. When I first put them in there, they went nuts. I had an algae problem. I've got to get rid of some of the algae on the glass. I've had a beard algae problem. This is actually much better since I've gotten 3 Siamese flying foxes. I got that angelfish 2 weeks ago. He's a pretty cool guy. I gotta clean the filter intake too. It's got beard algae all over it. Beard algae is a problem. I got a plant from Petco that had beard algae, and the stuff just took over the tank. But everybody's doing well so far. I did have 4 mollies in here, but they died. 3 of them died. There's 1 female molly left. The swordtails and the platies, though, are doing fine. They're great. The angelfish are doing great. The cory cats and the there's this flying fox. The flying foxes are doing great. Cory cats, I mean, they're indestructible fish. The only thing about this tank that I don't like, I cannot keep inverts alive in this tank. I use tap water, and my tap water is liquid rock. Like, it does not register on the hardness test. It's so high. So I'm thinking I might start slowly mixing. I don't want to shock these guys too much. So what I'll do is on the next water change, when I do like 10 gallons of water, or I usually do about between 5 and 10 gallons of water change. It's a 29 gallon tank, so like 30%. I'll mix in half of a bucket of RO water until, you know, the hardness is down in the tank. Then I'll see if I can get some more shrimp and snails in here or something, because snails don't live in this tank, and neither do shrimp. Any invertebrate that goes in that tank just dies. The water is too hard for them. I checked it for copper. I've checked it for everything else. It's the only thing that makes sense is the hardness. And it's because it's my tap water, but it's well water. It's not tap water. It's not full of chlorine or anything. I use Prime in it, but it's just too hard. So I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. But every once in a while I go in and trim out the leaves too, because if the leaves start rotting, you have a problem. Looks like I gotta pull that leaf off there probably. But yeah, that's my tank. I'm always working on it. I'm always scrubbing algae and trying to, you know, make it nicer. I like the beard algae. I like the way the beard algae looks on that rock. If it could just stay on that rock, that'd be cool, because it's a really cool looking, you know. And I got the Siamese flying foxes because apparently they're the only fish out there that'll eat that stuff. And it looks like they have been, because that rock was absolutely blanketed with that before. So anyway, that's it. Go check out Christine's channel. I'll keep you guys updated. I raised the temperature of my brumation chamber 2 to 3 degrees this week. I'll be raising it a little bit more next week, a little bit more the next week, and then I'll be bringing them back upstairs. They'll be ready to breed in probably a month. My hog noses. I'm still going to let this season determine where I go, what direction I go with my snakes. Hopefully they'll do well, and I will want to keep with it. I think I just lost interest a little bit because it was that slow time of year where nothing exciting is happening, you know. But I'm starting to get amped up again about the projects, about the breedings. So we'll see what happens. That's it for now. Out.